Wow. Look at us going live. We're live in my kitchen. Hooray. This is weird. This is a weird setup. Got my little my little FBI earpiece. What's that? What? No, just kidding. Um in my kitchen because I'm filming a little late today. So I had a lot of stuff going on this morning and I have to clean my kitchen. So I'm gonna be making adjustments and trying to make this work out, but I think it'll be fine. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Hopefully, you guys can hear me through this. I don't know if you can. Hopefully, you can. I don't know. I'm gonna start putting my dishes away and then, kind of talk about my day because it's a good day. Kept up with the routine. Um, Exercised. Didn't wreck myself, which is nice. And yeah, did my fasting, did all that stuff, got my work done. It's good. It's good. It's good stuff. Tonight we are making falafel. So I've got somewhere in here. Hold on. This is like I let my kitchen go like way too much. I've got some chickpeas that I soaked overnight. These are dry chickpeas, and I soaked them overnight. And this is going to be the basis for my falafel. And you really got to do it. You really have to do it from dry. I've tried to do them from cans. The tough thing about canned chickpeas, is they're usually already cooked to some extent, and you need the texture of the chickpea, of the dry chickpea, because like this right now, if I were to go look at that chickpea, if I were to squeeze this, it's still like pretty. It's still pretty dry, right? It's not, because it's not cooked. By no means is it like ready to go right now, but chickpeas, or falafel, I should say, you take the chickpeas and you grind it up with a whole bunch of other ingredients, onion and parsley and some spices and some other stuff. And then you let that sit in the fridge for about an hour. It'll kind of come together and bind. And then you put them into little balls and you deep fry them. And that's when the magic happens. And that's when it kind of cooks and then becomes crispy. So, did that. The tough thing about falafel, I love falafel. The tough thing about it is you have to remember to soak the chickpeas the night before. So if you're like, I'm going to eat falafel tomorrow, if you forget to do the falafel like I usually do, and you don't soak the chickpeas, you're fucked. So you really gotta deal with that. Excuse me, I'm just ducking behind my computer. This is probably the most entertaining live stream you're gonna see all day. That's a lie. There's people playing video games on live streams right now that are probably more entertaining than what I got going on right now. Nevertheless, still a good day. Still a good time to chat. Things are winding down. The busyness of the day is starting to die. People are settling in, making dinner, doing all sorts of shit. So, it's a good time. It's a good time to talk. Hope all of you are doing well. I'm doing well. You know what I didn't do today? I didn't do my meditation. I'm ashamed of myself. I gotta do my meditation tonight. It makes a big difference. I've found it makes a big difference. Also, I need to do something with this. I actually ordered some like hair wraps, but like dude hair wraps, like how they advertise like pens for women. They also have hair wraps for men because men are growing their hair out more. And they're like sporty. Not that I really care about that kind of stuff, but say la vie. So ordered some of those. Should get those on Sunday, so that'll be nice, especially when I'm doing work in the kitchen and it's just like in my face all the time. These are things that I've like never had to deal with before. For the most part, I've had short hair all my life. I used to buzz my hair when I was in ROTC back in college. I used to just buzz my head, or I used to do what's called a Caesar cut. Caesar cut's like you buzz, and then a little bit sticks up up front, and you kind of just spike it. I did have bleach tips. I'm not proud to admit that, but that's who I was. I don't really do that anymore because, different person now. But, I've grown figuratively and literally. So I'm just trying to figure out this whole longer hair situation. I could let my wife cut my hair. I could do that. Am I going to do that? Probably not. Only because I've never actually grown my hair out. So I'm curious to see what happens. I'm sure it's annoying and awful, but whatever. So it's just figuring out this stuff. I'm learning, I'm growing. It's great. Well, it's changed between this morning I guess something did change. My boy, my buddy, I say my buddy, he's like I know him. Bernie Sanders dropped out. Not super happy about that. Kind of sucks. I like him a lot. I supported him in 2016 and supported him again this time around. Actually, there were a few candidates that were pretty great this election cycle. I really love Tulsi. I thought she was amazing. I thought she was a really great candidate. She came from a really good background. She had a lot of good stuff going on. Strong candidate. I liked her, no foreign wars thing because, those cost a shit ton of money. I mean, one would hope that if we send, a ton of young people overseas to go and fight a war and fucking die, that we would get something out of it. And that's what we say we get out of it, but I don't know, man. I've got too many friends who are in the military who I think about on a daily basis, and they're doing they're doing the work they signed up for. Amazingly brave men and women, each and every one of them, to do what they do, and it kills me to think about them, dying for something that's not worth it. Do we need to be doing this? I don't know. I did have a buddy who died in combat. This this just got super serious. Sorry about that. Just on my mind right now. I had a buddy who died in combat. His name is Jonah. We used to work together, went to school together. He was in ROTC at the same time I was in ROTC. We were the same age. He stayed in, went in the Army, was an Army officer, and I didn't. And he died. And that kind of stuff sticks with you, we didn't talk for a little while, but it's that could have been me if I would have kept going. But it did happen to him, and he's a goddamn hero for doing it. The thing that worries me is I'm concerned that we're never going to get a shot again at another truly like progressive candidate, anti-interventionist, reasonable use of force, like kind of person, kind of candidate. Tulsi was that person. Bernie was definitely that person. He practiced the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. way of peace first. I like that. Peace is hard, but you gotta try it first before you go, blowing people up. So it worries me. It worries me the political climate that we're in right now, especially with all this nonsense going on. Just makes me worried. And I really hope one of these two candidates that we're going to get, Joe Biden or fucking President Trump, it would be nice to see a little bit of direction there, a little bit of leadership. We'll see. It's a weird time in America right now. That's for sure. Not just with the pandemic. That's like a worldwide thing, but like all the shit that we've got going on. I will say, I think one of the things that's come out of this presidency, whether it doesn't really matter where you're at. I think the thing that I have seen personally more out of this is a focus on local government. Like obviously president, federal government, they sort of set the tone for everything. Local government, that they're the ones who are going to influence your day-to-day the most, So, I was happy with our local elections here. We had a former, we had a former boss of mine, friend of mine, run for council here, who voted for him, and he won. And now he's on the city council and he's doing good things. And I'm happy about it. I'm happy that that's happening. So focus on local government, I think, is going to be a really, really big, I hope it's going to be a big focus going forward. We're a big country. We got a lot of people, 350 million people, give or take. And, obviously we want to look out for our fellow Americans as a whole. But on top of that, we got to keep our local politicians honest. Because they're the ones who are going to, make sure our commutes are better, make sure our kids' schools have oversight and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to that shift, if there is one. I hope there is one. I am planning on shifting more of my focus to that. The presidential stage, it kills me. It kills me because I liked Bernie. I liked a lot of his policies. Didn't agree with any with all of them. With any of them, I didn't agree with anything he said, but I liked him. No, I didn't agree with all of his stuff. I think his focus on college was good, but definitely early education is a dire need right now. Even though I'm somebody who's burdened with student loans as well. I sort of knew what I was getting into with those student loans, kind of, and so it's a lot of money. That sucks, but early education, dude, finding childcare, finding care for my kid has been such a roadblock. It's so difficult, especially in a state like Massachusetts, where there's just such a low availability, and commuting is hard, and just getting around is difficult in general. Finding a daycare, pre-K, for my kid was really fucking hard. And we found one that we love. Teachers are great. But they got limited hours. And fortunately, I'm in a situation where I can be sort of flexible with my work, but dude, it's hard. If it's like there's anything that needs to be done where it's like, I need to stay after hours or whatever, I've got to schedule that shit in advance. You know, it's difficult. So early education, I hope whoever this next person is focuses on that. I hope that's something that comes up in local politics. I don't know. Just exhausted. I'm exhausted with the whole political landscape. I'm exhausted because it's like, at the end of the day, it's popularity contest. You know, it's a contest of who you know and who can get you elected. Not so much your ideas or actual track record or anything. So it's a bummer, but I'll stay with it, stay engaged. I take Ari every single time I go to vote. I take her with me and tell her about the importance of voting. And that's the only thing I can do is like keep doing it and be consistent and try and pass that on to her. And hopefully, these upcoming generations are going to put more of an emphasis on like voting and getting out and being engaged. I hope that's the case. I hope we can also, like, the next few years, I hope we can make voting easier, like make voting, this whole mail-in ballot thing in Wisconsin that just recently happened where, we got this freaking pandemic going on and they're like, yeah, no, we're going to have to just open the polls and we can't do mail-in voting is like, I don't know, it's a little shocking to me. Honestly, it's very tone deaf. It's like met with unprecedented odds. We couldn't mobilize ourselves to, get prepared for this level of issue that's come up. But it's Wisconsin. I can't do anything about Wisconsin. It's a totally different state. It's not my state. I don't even know if I know anybody that lives in Wisconsin. I know people who have like lived in Wisconsin at one point, but like I have no influence on that right now. I live in Massachusetts. We do things our own way here. And that's just how it works for us. So there you go. Boom. Importance of local government. I'm gonna stop talking about politics because I've been talking about politics this entire time. But that's what's been on my mind because of this morning's announcement, and I'm a little sad about it, and we'll move on. Hopefully, we'll fly under one banner, and we'll come up with somebody qualified that can maybe run this fucking country. We'll see. Outside of that, things have been going all right. They put some additional. They put a suggested statewide. They put a suggested. Was it statewide or was it just Boston? It might have been just Boston. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I think it was Mayor Marty Walsh put a suggested curfew in. So like, just don't go outside during these hours. We'll see how that goes. I feel like, I don't know, I've so far have been pretty happy with Massachusetts' response. I still get emails from my representatives when I used to live in Arizona, just because I like to keep up with things there. Dude, freaking Governor Ducey's provisions that he put in for like his thing that's like, shelter in place, sort of, if you want to, maybe. It was funny because he's like, stay at home. And there was this whole list of businesses that like weren't affected because they did the essential and non-essential business thing. They were like, these are essential businesses, these are not. And the essential list is like stupid long. As I was reading that list, I couldn't imagine a type of business that wasn't closed down by this thing. At which point I'm like, what's the point of even coming out and saying something if you're not even going to do it? Neither here nor there. I think Massachusetts' response has been pretty good. It's been, staying with the trend. They went with CDC's recommendations. If you go outside, you're going to be out, wear a mask. So got a mask now if we go outside. So that's all we can do. And then we gotta kind of wait it out and see what happens. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. So for those of you who haven't seen my kitchen, this is my kitchen. It's a pretty dope kitchen. It's a great kitchen. Our landlords renovated this kitchen right before we moved in. We love it. We use it all the time. It's got brand new appliances, cabinets. It's beautiful and it's laid out well. I really love it. I cook a ton of food in here. I've got a giant pantry, which is great. I don't think, since Chrissy and I have been together, I don't think we've ever had like a pantry like this. We've always had to put our food and stuff in like cabinets, or we've had to buy baker shelves and stuff and put our things out. It's nice to have like a pantry. This is the first time like in my adult life. I'm only like 31 years old and I have a pantry and a legitimate kitchen. So it's nice. Got a place for our cookbooks over there. Got our coffee mugs, some tea, some other stuff. It's a great kitchen. So tonight, making falafel. Probably going to record a video. Probably going to post that video. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Cool. So on Saturday, I've got my pad thai video coming out. I recorded some footage from my fish tacos. I'm going to edit that together. I'm going to put that out the Saturday after, and then we'll do the falafels, and I'll just kind of push content out like that. I'm going to keep doing the video blog, the vlog. Keep doing the vlog. And somebody's calling me, and I'm not going to answer that right now because I am on a vlog. But I'm going to wrap this up anyway because I need to keep cleaning and cooking. So anyway, thanks to you who have watched so far. I appreciate it. Thanks to you who have commented. It's like one person, but it means the world to me. Figuring out ways to maybe push this out to other platforms, that might be a little bit more active. I think maybe Twitch might be a better place for this because they have a, conversation area and they've got a pretty active user base with people watching stuff. So maybe that's where this will migrate, and then I'll just post the recordings to YouTube. We'll see. Stuff I've been thinking about. Outside of that, have a great night. I will see you tomorrow, and go make something delicious and then send me a picture. Dare you.